Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kuskus and this is the Get Ahead family. Here I share information on how to migrate abroad through jobs and through studies. I had posted on the YouTube community page that this is September and this is our travel month because a lot of people will be traveling from their countries to their study abroad destinations, of course, because this is September and a lot of universities resume in September, okay, between September October in autumn term. So I had asked okay, so what are your preparation plans? What are you guys doing? Let me know if you have any challenges. And somebody dropped a comment which I'm just going to read about how to transport from Heathrow Airport to their destination. So the person said, oh, thanks Kuskus, packing done, ready to embark on this new journey. What is the best way to get to Aspire Point from Heathrow? So Aspire Point is in London, of course, East London. It is one of Queen Mary University of London's accommodation. I actually stayed in Aspire Point. This question actually brought a lot of thoughts to me because I know that a lot of people will be having challenges of, okay, what is the best way to transport myself from Heathrow Airport to my destination? Some of you would not be schooling in London, you'll be schooling in other parts of the UK, and there are other airports in other parts of UK like Manchester. I think that Leeds has an airport as well. I think Birmingham has an airport also. So what you should do is when you're booking your flight, you should book your flight to the nearest airport to your destination, okay? So that way your journey would not be so long. Book your flight to the nearest airport to your destination. So if you do not know, my lights are started again today. Guys, see, I need to buy a new light, but I have not bought a new light. So it has started shaking, but I'm going to keep talking until it decides to go off. Anyways, book your flight to the nearest airport to your location. That way your journey can be shortened. Okay, whatever I share here, although I'm going to be using Heathrow as a reference point, it should be applicable to other airports in the UK as well, so you can apply it to your circumstances. All right, so in this video I'm going to be sharing the different ways that you can transport yourself from the airport to your university accommodation or to your accommodation or to other parts of the UK, okay, especially for people flying from outside the UK and flying into the UK. You get what I mean? So if you're flying from Nigeria, if you're flying from India, wherever you're flying from, as long as you're going to land in the UK, of course you're going to be using an airport, and from the airport you need to transport yourself to your destination. That's what this video is going to be about. Stay tuned. If you're yet to subscribe to the channel, I don't even know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be bringing lots of content to help new students coming into the UK, and I also have already existing content on the channel to help you guys. Just look around and see videos that help you, and if you go check around the channel you don't see any videos that answer your questions, definitely drop the question in the comment section, and if it is a question that I think a comment cannot answer, then I'm going to do a video about it. But if a comment can just answer to the question, I will definitely answer the question. My light has gone off. My light does not want me to shoot this video because this is like almost 10 p.m. My light does not want me to shoot. My light is back, so I'm going to try to hurry up so that this light will not interfere with this video again. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing with you guys all the ways that you can transport yourself from the airport when you land in the UK, maybe from Heathrow Airport or any other airport in the UK, to your destination. The first one that I have here is bus or coach. So you can go on websites like National Express website to book a bus. So usually you would find buses from each airport to different destinations in UK, okay? For instance, if you arrive in Heathrow, you would find buses that take people from Heathrow to other parts of the UK. Heathrow to London, Heathrow to Reading, Heathrow to Birmingham, Heathrow to every other part of the UK. So there are different bus providers, right, or coach services. The one I know and the one I have used is National Express. When you go to National Express website, you're going to book when are you arriving, what time are you arriving, how many luggages do you have, and what time would you like to book your bus or coach service. So when you book the service, you're able to take that bus from the airport to your destination. Of course, they're not going to drop you in your house, but they'll drop you probably at the train station If you're going to Reading, they'll drop you at Reading station. If you're going to Manchester, they'll drop you at Manchester station. So from there, you can either take the bus or a taxi to your house. Now, when I traveled, they have spaces in the coach that they can put your luggages. So that's why they will ask you, how many luggages are you carrying? Okay, if it's one, you just write 123 kg, 223 kg, and a backpack, and like that. That's it for the bus. You're going to be able to buy your ticket, the bus ticket, on the website. You can just use Apple Pay to make your payment, or any online payments, or PayPal, whatever you use to make your online payments. Okay, so I have to stand, obviously, because of light issues. So that's it for the coach. If you have any more questions about taking the bus or coach, let me know. I think I've said everything. You go on to National Express, insert your details, when you're traveling, how many luggages you have, and you pay online. And then once you pay online, you're going to get an email notification that you have secured the ticket. So what you need to know is that, for instance, if your flight is landing in Heathrow by 3 p.m., give yourself at least 2 hours. At least 2 hours. That means you can actually give yourself more time, because it also depends on where you're traveling from. Okay, if you are coming from a country that is visa free to the UK, then you know that there will be no queue. So if your flight lands by 12 o'clock, you can literally book your ticket by 1 o'clock or 1:30, and you know that you will be done, right? But if you are coming from a country that you require a student visa into the UK, or visitors visa, whatever country you're watching me from, and for whatever purpose you're coming into the UK for, as long as you need a visa, you're going to go through immigrations, and immigrations take at least 1 hour, based on how many people or how many planes land at that time, right? So sometimes immigration could last between 1 hour to 3 hours. So what you have to do is give yourself enough time before you book your public transport service. So I would recommend that if you're landing by 3 p.m., then book your public transportation ticket from, let's say, 5 p.m. okay, so that you give yourself enough time. Because if you book by 4 p.m. and you're not there, the bus will leave you, right? So you don't want the bus to leave you. So you want to be ready on time, so that you even be able to locate the bus. Because I remember when I was coming back from Ireland, I had booked one of the coaches, right? And I had come out from Heathrow and I followed the direction to where the coaches are. But I did not see my bus. I saw literally other buses to different destinations. I did not see my own bus. So I kept on walking around, checking until I was lucky enough to find the bus. So you need that time, that allowance, to be able to plan yourself, so that you will not miss your bus and that money will not be a waste, okay? So yeah, once you're able to find your bus, for instance, if you're coming down from Heathrow, I really don't know about other airports, but please always read the signs, okay, and the directions. They'll tell you wait to the bus, wait to the car park, wait to the coach, wait to the train, okay? So you will be able to follow. And then if you're finding it very difficult after you take your luggages, you don't know, of course you're going to see directions like this is the exit, right? So once you follow the exit, you're going to see directions like buses, taxis, and all of that, trains, right? So just follow the direction that leads you to the bus, and when you get to the place, if you see lots of buses, you will be able to see the destination of the bus in front. But if you do not know, just walk up to the driver and ask, please, I'm going to Birmingham and I bought this ticket. They're going to look at your ticket and they'll direct you to the correct bus. Or just ask anybody around. Always ask questions. If you ask somebody and they don't seem to know, ask another person, okay, until you get the right answer. That is it for the bus. If you have any other questions around bus or coach, let me know, okay? Of course, buses do not travel as fast as trains. So if a train journey is 1 hour, the bus journey will probably be 3 to 4 hours. So you should take that into consideration. If you're taking an afternoon flight and you're going to be landing in the UK in the evening, you should think about the journey if you want to journey at night, because if you're taking the bus, it's going to take a while, right? So you have to think about that. And if you're joining that late, think about your accommodation policies. Do they check in people at night? Especially if you're going to a student accommodation, they might not check people in after 10 p.m. And if you're going to a private accommodation, are they going to be around to check you in? If they're not going to check you in very late, then you have to book an early morning flight so that you will land in the UK by at least 2 p.m., 3 p.m. and you can travel to your destination and still get there before 5 p.m. Because I remember one of my friends traveled, she had come with lots of luggages and she took the train. That's why you're supposed to book a flight to the nearest airport to you. But I kind of understand that sometimes Heathrow tickets are a bit cheaper than those other tickets. So my friend had landed in Heathrow, but she was going to Sheffield, which is like 4-hour train ride. So she journeyed to Sheffield, but by the time she had gotten to her student accommodation, the reception had closed. They could not check her in, so she could not go in. So she now had to look for where to sleep at night. Luckily for her, she had a friend in Sheffield who came around, picked her up to their own place so she could spend the night, and in the morning she journeyed to her accommodation to check in. So you have to take that into consideration because you don't want to be stranded. You have to think, what time will my flight? For instance, if you're coming from Nigeria, of course your journey is 6 hours, right? I think they have a night flight in Lagos, so you're going to arrive to UK in the morning. But if you're coming from Abuja, it's mostly 9 a.m. flight, so you arrive in the UK like 2 p.m. So you have time. If you are going to London, good for you. Within 2 hours or 3 hours, you should be at your destination. But if you're going to other parts of the UK, ask yourself, for instance, do I have a friend in London that I could spend the night with so I can start my journey the following day? If you do not, consider booking early morning flights like I have said, so that you don't have to be stranded, because some of these accommodations, they're going to tell you that, oh, we're sorry, we cannot check you in after work hours. And then if you are not sure, send them an email, call them, send them a text message, ask them, I'll be arriving in the UK so and so time, and this is my anticipated time of arrival at the accommodation. I hope I'll be able to check in, so that you know what to do. Okay, so that's it for the buses. I'm going to go ahead and now talk about the train. Okay, so once you arrive at every airport, of course there are trains that will take you to different destinations. Because I mentioned for the bus, I had said you should go to National Express website, right? You can also download Trainline. Trainline is an app that you can use to book public transport, trains and buses, okay? Buses/coaches, right? So you can also download Trainline. When you download Trainline and register your details and you start searching for public transport, you can just navigate to, you would see coaches/trains. So you can navigate, if you want trains, you navigate to the train options. If you want a bus, you navigate to the coach option. That is Trainline, okay? So if you're looking for a train, if you're going to book a train, all you have to do is you can check Trainline, especially for trains that are going to a different city. For instance, if you're going to London, like you land in Heathrow and your destination is within London, you don't need to go to Trainline, right? If you have a contactless card, you can use it to pay your transport, because in London transportation they don't take cash. So you have to use your Apple Pay or contactless card or Oyster card, okay? So there are different options. You could either go to TfL Rail website, register and buy an Oyster card. If you're a student, you buy the student Oyster card. Or if you're not a student, you buy the regular Oyster card, put some money there, and when you arrive in London, you can use the Oyster card for all public transports. Now, if you are going outside London, what you have to do is buy a ticket on Trainline, right? You buy from London Heathrow to Birmingham, London Heathrow to Leeds. Wherever you're going, Gatwick Airport to Leeds. If you're going to land in Manchester and then you're going to a different city outside Manchester, just when you download Trainline, put your arrival destination or your pickup destination and put your pickup destination and where you're going to, arrival destination, whatever. So, but that's what Trainline is going to do for you. You'll be able to buy your ticket on Trainline, and depends on the kind of ticket you buy, because there are two options. You could have an e-ticket, or you could have a ticket where you have to print. So if you buy a ticket and then you see that you have to print that ticket before you travel, you have to use the ticket machines at the train stations to print that ticket. So let's say you arrive in Heathrow and you have a ticket that you have to print. Just find a ticketing point where you can use the ticket ID to print your ticket. You have to print the ticket, and when you print the ticket, you're going to get 2 tickets. Yeah, because you're going to get the receipt and the ticket. It's not 2 tickets. you sure are going to get two printouts, the receipt and the ticket itself. If you are meant to have a hard copy ticket, a physical ticket based on what you purchased on Trainline, and you do not print that ticket and then you go ahead and enter the train, if a ticketing officer catches you, you're on your own. No? You are on your own, because if a ticketing officer comes to you and says, "Ticket please," and then you're like, "I bought on Trainline," and they're like, "Okay, where's the ticket?" And then you open the Trainline and they say that you're supposed to have printed the ticket. It looks to them like you do not have a ticket, so don't make that error. And then there are other options where you buy a ticket and your ticket is an e-ticket, so you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is, when you get to the barrier at the train station, you use the ticket, the QR code on the ticket on your phone, and you can pass. Okay, so that's it for ticket and transporting yourself on the train. But this is what you have to know about transporting yourself on the train. If you have lots of luggages, like 2, 3, 4 luggages, you would not be able to cope by yourself, except you have a friend who is going to come to the airport to wait for you when you arrive. You guys can, maybe you take part of your luggage, the friend would help you with part of your luggage, and then you guys can use the train to your destination. But if you are alone and you have more than 2 luggages, then think about it. How are you going to be able to hop into the train with all your luggages, and when you get to your destination, you hop out? Because when the train arrives at your train station, it's not going to wait for more than 30 seconds. It doesn't wait for up to 1 minute, because the doors will open and doors will close. So you're going to have to struggle with your luggages. And if you now arrive at the kind of train station that is maybe underground or two-story buildings, where you have to either use the staircase or the lift before you even get outside the train station and now find a cab or a bus, then that's going to be too complicated for you. I know I've shared this story before on my channel. When my friend was coming, she had lots of luggages and she used the train and she was alone. She was just falling down anyhow because her luggages were heavy. She couldn't handle everything by herself. And over here, you may not really get help from strangers, so you have to plan. If a friend can come and pick you up at the airport and you guys can take the bus or the train, good for you. Otherwise, think about taxis, okay? Which I'm going to come to that. So that's it for train. If you have any questions, or if you think there's something I've not addressed, let me know and I'm definitely going to address it. But that's it for train. So for buying train tickets, you can use your Apple Pay. You can use any valid online card that you have to buy your train ticket. Okay, now that's it for train tickets. So but even if you're taking train, you will still arrive at your train station. For instance, if you're going to Liverpool, you would arrive at the train station in Liverpool. Then you would now have to transport yourself from Liverpool train station to your location. So you may think about, maybe you were going to take a taxi from there, or you're going to take the bus. Okay, so now let's talk about taxis. You can either decide that, okay, I'm going to use Uber from the airport. So once you come out from immigration checks, you open your Uber and order a ride, and then your rider would tell you that I'm in car park 1, I'm in car park 2. Of course, they're going to give you a ride that is at the nearest car park to you, right? So you can call your Uber ride, where are you? I'm at car park 1 or I'm at car park 2, and then both of you will find yourselves. That's easy peasy, right? Before you book the ride, you have to select if it is cash or card. And if you're selecting card, ask yourself, is my card going to work in the UK? If it is not going to work in the UK, just select cash and pay in cash. But if you know that you have a card that is going to work in the UK, that's fine. The Uber driver would probably have a payment point machine that you're going to use to make the payment, or you just add your card to your Uber app and it's easy for you. That's it for Uber. Another option is airport taxi. You can just come down from the airport, follow the exit with the directions at the airport that will tell you taxis this way. Okay, so you can follow the direction, go to the car park that has taxis, and you can just take a random airport taxi. Okay, because you always have to ask, is it cash or is it card? And if you're taking a random airport taxi, then you have to agree on the price. But if it is based on the journey, if it is just like Uber, okay, the journey, the amount is not fixed, it is based on the journey, then they will tell you as well. So that's it for airport taxi. Another option is pre-book taxis. There are lots of companies that offer taxi services. Okay, you can just go online and search taxi services from Heathrow Airport, taxi services from Gatwick Airport, taxi services from Birmingham Airport. you would see a lot of options online. But because you know how online is, you're going to see a lot of options, but you don't know which one is reliable and which one is not. I have used a few taxi services that were recommended by friends. I always love to work with recommendations. If I have not used a service before and I don't know what it's like, I would rather ask people, oh, is there a cab service that you know? You can just give me their number. So if you need a taxi service, I could recommend a few. I could probably post a few websites that I have used though, so that I know that they are reliable. Okay, so but what usually happens with the taxi service is before your flight, like before the day of your travel, you have to book the taxi service before the day of your travel. You would, of course, you're going to provide your flight time, your flight duration, the country you're flying from, and the airport you are landing, and the terminal. Always note the terminal you are landing. If you're landing in Heathrow, you better note your terminal. Otherwise, you're going to get missing. Anyways, so when you note your terminal, provide the details. Oh, I'm landing by 3 p.m. You have to tell them when they should come and pick you. Should they come and pick you by 5 p.m., like 2 hours or 3 hours after you land? This is because I think after they wait at the airport for up to an hour, they will be charged. So if they come and wait for more than the time they are supposed to wait to pick you, you're going to be the one to pay that waiting fee. Yes. So this is what you have to know. Like I said at the beginning, you have to give yourself some allowance. It is better that you bring your luggages and come and wait for your taxi, for them to come, rather than them waiting for you for more than an hour because they are going to charge you. Okay, if you book this taxi, some of them you can prepay, others it will be post-pay. So but you always have to ask questions. Are you collecting cash? Are you collecting, do you have a payment point in the car where I can use my card to pay? Or do I have to add my card details on the app? If you now have to pay with your physical card, ask yourself, the card I have, will it accept international payments? Because if you're coming with a card from Nigeria, I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry for you, because it may not work. The may is like 99% probability that that card might not work. So you might want to come to the UK with dollars, so that you can change to pounds, right? For instance, if you've pre-booked a taxi and the taxi says, oh, I'm going to charge £100, ask them, are you going to collect cash or card? If they say it has to be card payment, you can tell them that, oh, unfortunately, I currently do not own a card that I can use to make transactions in the UK. Can you collect cash? And if they say yes, then you can either come with pounds from wherever you're coming from, or you come with dollars. When you get to the airport, you change it, and then you are able to pay for your cab, right? So that you will not be stranded. I think I've covered everything, right? I've covered everything. Are you paying with cash? Are you paying with card? Are you taking the bus? Are you taking the taxi? Are you taking Uber? Always consider your luggage, okay? If you're booking a taxi, you have to consider how many luggages you have, because the more your luggage is, the different the kind of taxi you're going to take, okay? There are some saloon cars that cannot take certain luggages. So that's why you always have to let them know your luggage size, your luggage weight, so that they know the kind of car they will bring to come and pick you, because they are not going to carry overweight. They are not. So that you don't end up booking two different cabs, two different taxis. I think I have handled this topic. So let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. So please drop questions that, even if they are not related to this video and you want me to address it, drop the questions and I'll definitely address it, okay? I know that this is a busy period for you guys, so let me know whatever you need. And I have a video about how to take buses in London, how to travel around London and even other parts of the UK, especially if you are concerned about how do I buy Oyster card, how do I print my ticket, how do I even identify what bus I should take, how do I know my train. I have that video that I think you'll be interested in watching. So I'm going to link that video so that you can just watch it after this video, so that it will help you. Let me know in the comment section what you think, and if this video was helpful, do well to share to your friends and loved ones. I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye. And please forgive my light. Forgive my light. I will buy another light. You people should watch the video, watch the ads, share the video, so that I can make money on YouTube. I can go and buy light. I don't have light. Is it good?